Sugar Puffs. So today I wanted to review for you MAXFACTOR FACEFINITY 3-in-1 foundation. Now, it is drugstore, and you know my opinion on drugstore foundations. The only drugstore foundation that I sort of like is the number 7 Beautifully Matte. But I've always wanted to try CoverGirl Outlast foundation. And of course we don't have CoverGirl here. And then I was watching Cornelia from Baby Cake 390, and she just bought that one, and she said it's the same thing, MAXFACTOR, because I know in the US you say, oh, we can't get MAXFACTOR and we can't get here CoverGirl, but apparently it's exactly the same thing. So I did some digging, and indeed they are both owned by Procter & Gamble company. They are exactly the same, it's just different packaging and different names. So if you look at the bottle of this MAXFACTOR one, the CoverGirl Outlast looks just like that, but it has blue pump, I think it's more, and a blue writing, something like that. But the shape, everything, the amount is the same, and apparently the product inside is the same. So before I get to the review, I just wanted to say I am so happy, and now none of us have to be sad that we can't get here CoverGirl or you can't get MAXFACTOR, because they are the same thing, just different packaging, different names. Apparently even some of the limited editions are the same. And I found a blog, and I will put the link to this blog in my description box, where the blogger talks about the similarities between the two. Well, basically saying that they are the same. And like the mascaras, you know, Clump Crusher, CoverGirl Clump Crusher, the one in lime green tube is exactly the same as MAXFACTOR Clump Defy, which is in purple tube. Then CoverGirl Lash Blast Volume, which is in orange tube, is the same as MAXFACTOR False Lash Effect, which is black tube with purple writing. Now, you know I always use my MAXFACTOR Xperience mascara, and I love it, and it's not even that easily to buy here. I never see it in Boots or Superdrug, but only online. So I buy it online, but I never see it in shops. But from that blog, it looks like the MAXFACTOR Xperience mascara is the same as Nature Looks mascara from CoverGirl. So have a look at that and have a read of that blog to just see the comparison, because the brushes look exactly the same of the mascaras, is, you know. So anyway, let me get on with the review. What does MAXFACTOR say about it? So the full name is a bit mouthful. It's FACEFINITY All Day Flawless 3-in-1 foundation. Primer, concealer and foundation in one, with SPF 20, and mine is in shape Golden 75. They only come in 6 shades. That's the only bad thing. And Golden, you would think, was very dark, but it's not. I've got it on and it's quite light. It's just fine for now, but in the summer it'll be definitely too light. There are a couple, or maybe just one, that is darker than this. So unfortunately shades are not so great, and they have a couple of like pink undertones. This one I would say is not really golden, it's quite neutral, it's not too much yellow in it, and I'm fine. I can go neutral or a bit yellow with my foundations. Can't do pink, but yeah, so this one is quite neutral, and the darkest one I think is more yellow. So not too, the color choice is not great, but you know. Okay, let me tell you what they say about it. it says that it lasts all day with flawless finish. Primer gives a smooth base for hold. Concealer corrects for a flawless look. It has the hold of a primer, correction of a concealer, and finish of a foundation. And I love it. I never thought I would say that about drugstore foundation. And why no, I love it that I didn't have to try it for a week, for 2 weeks to know if I love it. I've put it on twice and I know I love it. This color is quite good for me. It's much lighter than my Estee Lauder Rattan. It is probably the same shade. I compared it yesterday. I think it's a very similar shade to my Guerlain Lingerie de Pau 03. Very similar shade, and that Guerlain is quite neutral as well. And you will notice from the side-by-side videos that I will look much paler when I'm applying the foundation, and this is probably good color what you're gonna see when I'm applying the foundation. But the side-by-side, then I look much darker because obviously I've got the rest of my makeup, a bit of bronzer, and also it's different lighting. So when I filmed application of that foundation was in the morning and it was quite cloudy, and later on when I was doing the actual review there was a bit of a sunshine, so that's why the colors look a bit different, you know, side by side. But I promise you I'm wearing that foundation. With this foundation I just put my serum, then I put my moisturizer very lightly and straight away apply this, and hopefully this will be successful. I will insert side by side how I'm applying this foundation. So what I did, yes, I know, unfortunately not looking too good without makeup. I did one side with foundation brush with my Sigma F80, although that's not my favorite, but my Real Techniques was dirty, and the other half I applied with Beauty Blender. I would say I prefer the application with the brush than Beauty Blender with that one. It is quite thick in consistency. It's a bit like I would say like Estee Lauder Double Wear. So if I squeeze it on my hand, it is not really going quickly anywhere. It just stays there. Let me just... So you see, really, it is a very good match to my skin. I tend to use dark foundations and put bronzer down my neck because I don't like to be that pale, but this is pretty good match for me. So I prefer to apply it with my brush, and I don't even need to powder it. It dries quite dry. It is definitely full coverage. It does what it says on the bottle and it lasts all day. I don't even get oily T-zone. I think if you've got very dry skin, I really can't tell how that would perform because my skin is sort of dry to combination. I have drier cheeks but oily in the middle. But I think if you moisturize well before that, you'll be fine. But if you have an oily T-zone, or even if you're oily, I think you would get on perfectly with that foundation. So you don't need to use primer obviously with that one because this has primer in it. You're not supposed to use concealer. I suppose if you need to conceal a bit more, you just use a bit more of the foundation in that spot. I don't think it has, the finish is really nice. It's not cakey, and because you don't have to really powder, then it looks even less cakey. So I have it on today. I really like it, and like I said, it lasts all day. and I don't really have to powder. The bottle is glass. Pump is really nice. You can lock the pump as well, so if you turn it to that side, so it's quite nice for traveling. It's not so nice because it's glass. It's not that heavy, but it's nice that you can lock the pump, and it's got the plastic top which gets messy where you have a bit of foundation left there because it's quite snug. So yeah, the packaging is very nice. The price of it here is about £11. I don't think the drugstore foundations are that cheap, you know, they are like half price of high-end, or sometimes a bit less than half price. And I've wasted so much money over the years buying drugstore foundations, and I hated every single one of them, that I stopped trying them completely because you can't get a sample here. You just have to buy the foundation. It's very hard to return anything here as well. So, but as soon as Cornelia said that this is exactly like the CoverGirl, I knew I really wanted to try it because I've seen loads of reviews of CoverGirl Outlast foundation, and it sounded like something that I would like. So I'm so glad that I bought it. And for drugstore foundation, it is fabulous. I would say that it's almost up there with my Estee Lauder foundation, and even with Estee Lauder foundation I have to usually powder through my T-zone throughout the day, whereas I don't have to do it with that one. So I hope that was helpful, and we're all happy now because we're not gonna, you know what it's like when you want something that you can't get, like I hear CoverGirl, I know even the lipsticks are the same, and now that I know Max Factor is exactly the same, I don't have to feel like I'm missing out on anything because it's exactly the same thing. I hope you find this helpful, especially here for my viewers in the UK, because, and I think in Australia they have Max Factor as well, I'm not sure, but here wherever you live and you have Max Factor but you don't have CoverGirl, you're not missing out because it's exactly the same thing, and I really like it. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you for watching, and I see you soon.